It is not a good time to be a white older man, particularly in New Zealand. Jevon McSkimming pleading guilty to child watching or to having and viewing child exploitation and bestiality material. Any person pleading guilty to that, a man in his 50s, white guy in his 50s, is going to be a bad look for the rest of us, Jevon. But when you've also been doing it when you are the Deputy Commissioner of Police, not good for the whole power structure of the society. And these aren't victimless crimes. There were real people and real animals, one involved in the videos that he was watching. Children were exploited, were terrified, were abused. And your viewing of that material encourages, gives succor to, and plays into that very abuse. Then this guy, Givvon McKimming, who was doing it by, he thought, getting round some, barrier in the police computing system. He was using the police computing system. He's also dumped all over his family saying, I grew up in a family where pornography was normal. Did you really? Was bestiality pornography normal? Was child abuse pornography normal, Mr. McSkimming? Or have you just thrown your family under the bus the same way you have thrown your police colleagues, those kids, the animals, and blokes in general under the bus? This comes on top of the Windsor, formerly known as Prince, Andrew Windsor, Mountbatten Windsor, being stripped of all his royal and official titles because of his involvement in the sex exploitation exploits, or his links with Jeffrey Epstein, the late Jeffrey Epstein. Another, I think late 59 or something, Prince Andrew, about the same, in the same vintage as Jevon McSkimming. And Andrew totally discredited. Imagine how the rest of us blokes of a certain age feel when we see amongst us prominent people who are such fricking creeps. I grew up in a world where pornography existed. There wasn't quite the innocence of National Geographic, but pornography existed. But that I'd never use that as an excuse to do thousands of searches for kiddie porn and bestiality. There is no excuse for that except that your moral compass is deeply off. And then we ask the question, don't we, how did someone with such a clearly defective moral compass rise to be the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of computer crimes and stuff, for God's sake, or the computer system? You wouldn't read about it, but we have. I want to say this in defence of blokes of a certain age. We're not all creeps. We're not all rapists. We're not all the despicable kind of people that Jevon McKimming has been. But boy, I could see when you see a crime like that why people might think so. And I do collectively say us, white older blokes, have got a bit of catch up to do over the events recently. But do not tar all men with the same brush. I think I look at this crime and the position of the person, and it truly is outrageous. I see he's going to be sentenced just before Christmas. And, pornography has existed forever. It's on the walls of Pompeii, for goodness sake. And people get excitement or prurient interest from watching the act of sex or seeing people's genitalia, or probably more classy not to see people's genitalia. Pornography exists as a thing. And I suppose it's a togs undies argument. Where does healthy, acceptable, mainstream pornography begin? And when does it turn into something sick? like the stuff that Jevon was watching. Or McSkimming. Let's call him McSkimming now. Let's do what we do to all criminals. We knock off the first name. His name's now McSkimming.